build up the town of Mayesville, Lord, and move it forward in the right direction, Lord. I ask that you just guide our minds and our decisions, Lord, as we do the right thing for the town, for the citizens, and as the councilman, Lord. These and other blessings we ask in your son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Ms. Collins, do you have another? Thank you.
No,
She can do this. This is just awesome. Council, if you look over the agenda, you didn't have a chance to approve it email wise, so. Councilwoman Massingill, did you have a chance to send out anything to the council as far as the Mayesville matriarch and patriarch?
I didn't have anything to send to anybody, and I'm going to present that.
Okay, so does anybody know what that is about?
A matriarch and a patriarch?
I don't know.
The female, the oldest female person is the matriarch, and the oldest male is a patriarch.
I have no idea. That's why it would be fun to send it out, so we have a chance to get that.
I didn't have anything to pass out because it's something, I'm just gonna present the two of them
Got it.
if they're here.
Minutes for February 13th, council, you had a chance to read it.
That was the last one you sent, right? It was long.
Okay, John?
I just haven't received it. It's just,
Okay, so nobody's got it. Okay. Minutes from special call March 1st, meeting. You had a chance to read those?
Yeah.
Minutes from March 12th. And I did not add financial report March 2024. It's not something I put on.
Make them have it. No.
You agreed, you told Attorney Carter in the last meeting that you would.
Do the financial report.
But also, this one's supposed to have the budget.
Exactly. Yes.
I can present the budget. It's. Wait.
I thought this was supposed to be a role in the statement comparing their rates.
I'm probably not understanding what you guys are saying. That was an assignment for the treasurer. If we're gonna do March, what is the balance from what we spent to what's come in?
And you and I had this,
You know,
I can't get in the building, but I'll present the budget to people.
you don't have your key?
I can't be in here while you're in here.
You ready to work out how, an arrangement so we can get stuff done?
You know what? It's pretty tough when there's discrimination charges against me.
Okay, if that's how you feel.
That's not how I feel. It's a fact. Okay, so are we taking off the minutes February 13th?
yeah.
Okay. Have you had a chance to read the minutes from the special call meeting March 1st? Do you want to keep those on or have you read them? You've read them? Okay, March 12th. Have you read those? Okay. South Carolina Department of Employment Workforce, what is this?
It's just about the job fair and stuff that you're going to do.
Is there anything that could have been, have you guys read anything about it?
Yes.
You have?
It's both things. I took them to all the churches. Sunday and everything.
Okay, is there a motion? Is there a motion?
To set the agenda. I
Yes.
make a motion that we accept the agenda as written.
And take off the minutes for February.
Right.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Executive session, legal contracts and personal matters. Is there a motion?
We don't make a motion for that. We already made a motion for the agenda.
You have to make a motion to excuse into executive session.
So she was going to announce, you're on the agenda to announce going into executive session for, and then,
Absolutely. Are you just gonna walk out and leave everybody?
No, I thought we just announced that we are about to go into executive session.
You've got to read what you're going to present in executive session.
We're going into executive session for legal contracts and personal matters.
Okay, so you need to be very specific on what those are.
That's not correct.
No, it's not.
Is
No, it's not.
your Supreme Court. And I will read you, so if you need. Executive session need to carefully follow state law and use only when absolutely necessary. They should cite the particular portion of the FOIA, including the description of the reason why they're entering an executive session as required by the state code 3047. A motion to enter executive session should be as specific as possible without compromising the issues. Since FOIA requires the council vote on entering executive session only to discuss a specific matter, the council must confine its executive session discussion to that matter only. Only the elected and appointed members of the public body meeting in executive session have the right to attend the executive session. Convening an unauthorized executive session discussing items not eligible for executive session or not disclosed as part of the motion to enter executive session or voting on the item in executive session or violating state law. These actions can result in injunction relief, civil fines, awards, attorney's fees, invalidation of official actions related to the violation. So yes, we need to make a motion, and it has to be very specific without entering names or using names if it involves me.
When you go into the executive session for legal, contractual, or personnel, you've given sufficient information to identify. Let me just finish.
I didn't say. You're reading my mind.
Yes.
No.
If you're going into the executive session for legal purposes, you don't have to say, I'm going in executive session for Johnson v. Green. You said that it's legal for legal purposes. When you discuss it in the executive session, you come back out and say, in executive session, we discuss whatever the case is, whatever the legal issue is. If you're going into executive session for employment related purposes, you don't say we're going in to discuss LEAs or callings. We're going in for personnel issues. You go into executive session and you come back out and you say, we discuss LEAs or Carter's contract, we discuss LEAs or Carter's employment with the town, we discuss LEAs or Carter grievances, whatever it is. Okay, if you're going into executive sessions for contractual basis, you identify that there's a contractual issue, which is what is listed on your agreement. When you come back out of the executive session, then you say, we discussed the contract of Longhorn, building the tin roof, or bringing a lawsuit, or having legal advice on somebody putting a metal slab on a flat head of a building. I mean, then you come out and you tell what it is, or we go into executive session, but we're taking no action as for legal. Are we taking no action as to an employee? Are we taking no action as to a contractual issue?
Okay, I think you got it in reverse. You specifically got to state before we go in, so the general public knows that we're just not meeting in private. You don't have to enter any names, but we need to know why we're going in for contractual. We need to know why we're going in for personnel matters. We need to know why we're going in, and nothing has been submitted to the council to even see why we're going into those executive. I have no idea. Nothing's been submitted to me. Has anything been submitted?
Nothing's been submitted to me.
Anything submitted to you?
Didn't I put it in the email? I did email it to
You
you.
did.
I did, I answered
Specific.
your email.
Yes.
Specific,
Yes, I answered your email. When you asked in the email, I answered your email.
not specific of what we're talking about.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I did.
Okay, tell me what the specifics then.
It was sent through email. You have to
Tell me
pull
what
your
the
email and
Speak
then.
about that into another people on the executive session.
Sure, yeah.
So you can't.
You discuss on what action is going to
Right.
be taken. I don't want to quit you because I respect you as the mayor, but by the same token, once you give them a notice of what the area of the executive session is,
Mhm.
once you go to executive session, come back out, you have to inform the public
Mhm.
what action you took or what action you're going to take with regards to one of those three things. But I won't debate you on it because you're the mayor. If you think that, then you got to get your council to agree with you.
So, is there a motion?
If there are motion to do what, so.
To go
I make a
into
motion for us
executive
to go into executive session to discuss the legal contracts and personnel matters.
Or just open ended? What's the contract? Is there a second? Is there a second?
Second.
Individual votes. Councilwoman Massingill. Yay or nay?
Yeah.
Councilman Ricks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say nay, and we will be prosecuting as a result of it, but we will go into executive session. I am sorry, we will leave you for a little while to discuss whatever matters. Ms. Collins, you may stay here. This is for elected officials. If she's part of the personnel matter, then she'll know this, you know, and for legal matters. You know, we're going to argue with the legal matters. Ms. Collins.
He told her,
Personnel.
council agree on her being there, she can be there. That ain't about her, it's about her.
This meeting will come to order. After the executive session is there, anyone?
Yeah, I make a motion that we come back, from the executive session instead of breaking. Oh, I make a motion that we leave the executive session and come back to the regular call, town meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Yeah, with the executive session, we talked about with the legal session. We discussed the legal matter as far as, attorney
Carter,
Carter.
having an alternate person.
Having an alternate person to,
Communicate.
communicate with them as far as the mayor and another alternate person, which has to be a full-time employee.
No,
Well,
just somebody in administration.
Yeah, somebody, well, yeah, in administration.
We can't hear, and you speak up.
What she indicated was that in executive session, there were several issues that was discussed.
Councilman.
So you come to the That's right.
Excuse me.
That's incorrect.
You can sit down, I'll take care of it.
I
Okay.
need you to do it.
You got, the violation form?
Just-
Yes.
We can start giving out violations?
Yes.
Okay.
2,500, starting on.
So we went into executive session. The first thing on our executive session was the legal matters. So we discussed with our legal matters, a second person to communicate with Attorney Carter. We decide the mayor and our clerk treasurer, because it has to be another administration. And so she is the next administration, besides our mayor. So we're putting her as a second designated person to contact our attorney. So we're gonna have two designated, persons. We're gonna have the mayor and we're gonna have the clerk treasurer.
Wait.
Motion.
Yeah, we have to make a motion. Well, I make a motion that we add, our clerk treasurer, Ms. Collins, to be our other designated point of contact to Attorney Carter.
I second.
So discussion, so what you're saying is voiding the contract that has already been signed. And adding to that another individual, so we got two people that are trying to communicate with the attorney.
We avoid, you just add into it.
But it's changing the contract, correct? It's changing the contract.
No, it's not. It's the same contract.
You're changing the original contract. We changed it in conjunction with each other. He signed it. Everything was good. What we're saying is we're voiding that contract and we're going to make another one, adding somebody to that can converse with you besides myself, correct?
You're talking to me?
Yes.
Oh, okay, all right. You are not voiding the contract. You are amending the contract to add another person to communicate with legal counsel.
Okay, that's good.
Right.
Okay, so we're amending the contract to add a second person to communicate with you.
That's correct.
Okay,
We will call for a motion.
it's already been motion.
Call for a vote.
Hasn't been a second, has it?
Second.
Second? All in favor?
Uh,
Nay.
Okay, next thing that we went into executive session was about, the contractor agreement with this building. For the renting of this building. I think all of us was emailed the terms that, the CDC wanted for the building to be in the contract. And we agreed on, well, we didn't take a vote, but we can choose between a year-to-year contract or a 2-year contract agreement.
It's not a CDC. It's actually the
Whoa,
bill.
whoa, whoa. We'll have some discussion now.
Okay, so we do go on discussion.
We haven't made a motion.
I mean, we had a discussion, we know that, and we didn't have to do it.
We can do that after it's been seconded, we can discuss it. We can discuss before, if you'd like. Okay, so discussion. Whether we go into a contract, a 1 year or a 2 year contract
It's a year-to-year, right?
with the CDC. You're saying one year, year to year,
I mean, that's what we was discussing, but it's something.
but somebody said, Ms. Massingill said 2 years, correct?
that was even on another topic. We're on something else. That.
No, we are.
Yeah, we were talking about Attorney Carter because.
We already did it. Yeah, we already did it. We on that, building.
Okay, so I'm doing it again.
I mean, the building ain't being saying now we get a review, I'll say 2-year agreement. Then we get a building.
This is not the CDC's building. Stop. This is not their building. This building was built by federal funds and petty tax funds to be able to transfer it, which you are a part of, to a separate entity is illegal for $10. Stop. In April 11th of this last year, 2013, you as well as another councilman with the mayor voted to take this council off the CDC. How is that possible? When you've got a mayor that is related to the executive director who voted? Who voted?
Let's go on.
Stop.
We're talking about.
You're out of order. Two people voted to transfer this building to another entity. That is not a quorum. Correct? Stop. What's that?
Stop. Oh, you're talking.
Yes, I'm talking to these guys.
Oh. Okay. So you're saying building's not CDC?
It won't be pretty soon. Right now, it is showing
So
that.
when are we talking about contract?
Why would we contract with somebody that does not own this building? We own it. The city should own this building. The attorney is going to go after it because you represent the city, correct? I have provided this information 4 months in advance. None of you wanted to look at it. Now, you represent us, right?
I do.
Have you had any contact with Millers? Anytime before this point? I'm asking you.
Miss-
Have you had contact with Millers?
Are we having a discussion about
Have you had contact at any time with Miller?
Okay, two things, Mayor.
I'm just asking that simple question.
But you can't ask me a legal question out in open.
It's not a legal question.
You're asking me for a legal answer. So let me just answer and then you can decide whether you like it or don't like it. Number one, you all just had an executive session where you were discussing rental agreement between the parties. And you had knowledge of something that.
These guys all had this knowledge.
Okay, let me just, you don't have to agree with
You
me.
said a year.
You don't have to agree with me. Let me just finish and I'll be real brief.
Okay.
You had a discussion with them about renting a building and you had some knowledge of something that obviously they knew or forgot or whatever basis.
Stop.
That you could have shared with them so that they could discuss if they were to enter into a contract that they find out who the big owners are. If you are right, then they cannot enter into a contract with them. With regards to the Millers, I don't know who the hell they are.
Okay, I've got my answer. Okay, so I have a great 2 year.
And if they do, if the CDC owns the building, whether it's till tomorrow or the next day, I mean, it wouldn't be advisable to enter in a contract if they own it till tomorrow, but you know, I don't know that they won't own it a year from now, and they still would have a right to demand a lease.
I will.
And if there's something for us, the town, to get the buildings from them, I certainly want to meet with you so we can discuss how to do that, if that is a legitimate thing.
That was my meeting with you. I know, you didn't attend the meeting. You skipped out on it. That was the meeting that I was to meet with.
Okay.
All right, so back to this contract. What would you like to do? The discussion, I've given you my discussion. No, I do not want to enter into any meeting with them,
You mean contract.
contract with them. Or agreement.
Then you'll call for a motion.
Okay, so your motion.
If they own the building, they're not into a contract with them. If they don't own the building, then
We haven't discussed like this. They do want to do, we haven't do it a year or two, year or two.
That was the discussion.
Yeah, that's.
You want 2 years, you wanted 2 years, you wanted 2 years?
Well, I make a motion, with the rental agreement for the building, the contract, the agreement to be for 2 years on the building.
need a second. No, you have to call for a second, you have to call.
Is there a second?
I'm sorry, say the again.
Is there a second?
I'm not talking to you.
I make a motion to, it's already gave the motion.
All in favor? I would like the individual votes. Councilwoman Massingill, your vote on entering into a contract with the CDC for 2 years. I'm asking yay or nay.
I did say it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nay. Are there other things that you want to bring up from the executive session?
With the executive session, the next thing that we went into executive session for is our legal matters. Personal matters. And we discussed about the contract, for our clerk treasurer, to consider going from 20 hours a week to 30 hours a week, for her, workload. So I make a motion that, with the clerk treasurer position, that we consider, her work hours being from 20 hours a week to 30 hours a week. So we can go in discussion.
Is there a second?
I do make a suggestion that we look at the budget, and make sure that it is in budget before making a decision.
Good idea,
Okay.
good idea.
Oh.
So let's let that die. Or do you want to discuss it right now?
We can discuss it.
Okay, so I go with the discussion of Councilwoman Massingill, that we table it right now until we can look at the budget and we can see exactly what's going on. I do have this, do any of you have what her job responsibility? Do you have a list of the job responsibilities of the clerk and the treasurer? Two different jobs. The clerk is paid $15,000 a year, the treasurer. 50. The treasurer is paid $6,000 a year. They're two separate jobs. Do you have a job description? You go to work every single day, you go to work, you have job descriptions. Do any of you or have any of you seen the job description of the clerk treasurer?
When she was first hired, I did.
Okay,
It was-
could you produce
I
that?
have to check back I have to go back into my email. So I did.
Could you do that?
But we did, so we're tabling it, so we do that?
Yes,
Okay,
we need to see that. We need to see what the budget is,
okay,
okay?
well, I'll go back in my emails and I'll put it.
And then she is part-time, starting at 9 to 2. If you were part-time, would you stay here past 2? Question for all. No, you go home at 2. It's a part-time job. So those are my discussions. We'll table it for those two things. Look at the job descriptions, look at the hours. We can see what happens there. Is there anything else that came from executive session? There's a police force.
Oh, yeah, it's the contract agreement with the police agreement. With our security, sheriff department, with our contract. Do I make a motion for that? Cause we was just discussing.
I think you can make a motion to review it with the sheriff's department administration.
Oh,
Is there a reason why we're looking at this contract?
yes, because we had, I think, like some meetings back, like the first meeting or so, where we had complaints about shootings and gun sounds and nobody responding, or the speeds and the speeding through the town and the complaints that we had, and we did send out a notice and we got no response. So we want to at least talk to them and see what can we do about getting more services.
But it's only,
Huh?
keep the money at the same level and have.
Right now, we pay the sheriff's department $44,000 a year to do what they're doing right now.
Okay, so I'm making a motion to speak with the sheriff department about our contract agreement. To see if we can update it. And see what can be done.
Is there a second?
One second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Is there anything else from the executive session? I make a motion that we do not read the minutes because of time. We will be quick with the financial report and the budget, but right now I make the motion that we do not read the minutes. We can send them out. All of you, if you've had a chance to read them, we can prove them. So the motion is to not read the minutes out loud. Is there a second? Okay, Ms. Collins, read the minutes.
Give us a brief summary.
A brief summary.
So the town of Mayesville met March 1st for a special called meeting. That special called meeting was to review the town attorney selection, as well as the reason for town attorney. Questions were asked to 2 attorneys. Answers for the public were given, and that's it. Minutes summary for March 12th was a regular a regular council meeting. Minutes for January 2024, special called minutes February 28th, special called minutes February 23rd, and special called minutes for March 1st were read. And accepted. Financial reports for January and February 2024 were read and accepted. Fair housing resolution and proclamation was agreed upon and voted in. The mayor gave updates to the USDA grants. Effective communication was discussed, as well as the town CPA. Santee Lynch's public needs assessment was discussed as well. And Mayor ProTem Benjamin discussed knowing a group of individuals that wanted to build a gym in town, and it was supposed to be discussed on a March 16th meeting. However, that never took place, and that concludes the minutes.
Motion to accept the minutes as read.
I make a motion that we accept the minutes as read.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nay? Financial report for March 24th. I have had my name put on there. I didn't put my name on there. But what I'd like to do, I'll combine these two together, the financial and budget. I don't know if there's enough that you can share so that you can look at this quickly. I'm open to comments on the budget because I think you guys represent the town and need to know exactly what's going on. We had a work session previous to this to go over, from what I understand, and I thought that the council had been involved in budgeting before. None of them had, and so we're all in this brand new together. So from former council to anybody that has been on, I would love assistance. Okay, any suggestions that you can give all of us. Accommodations. We had questions where $375 are coming from. Aid to subdivision, that is coming from state treasurer, and it will be the same this next year. We can count on that. Business permits. It went up from $300 to $1,800. We didn't know where those were coming from. So Councilwoman Massingill is getting a list together so that we can look at the long-term business permits as well as any activities like a parade or something like that, or permits that come in. Court fines, I may be able to turn some time over to magistrate for a second. I don't know what's going on there. We had a lot of questions. Can you help us as far as we've got budgeted $500 that comes in? I don't know the connection you have with Sumter. That's what somebody mentioned, that you do something with Sumter with the police force. Is there anything?
Feel free to email me, and I'll get back. I'll go ahead and answer your question.
No, it's all right. She asked me to email her for those questions.
I don't know if anything you want me to do, so I want to be prepared for whatever you want to ask.
Okay, franchise fees. Franchise fees, we have funds that come into the town from Black River, from the neighborhood. We have it from Duke, from another part of the neighborhood and use of the town. We have, there's a few others. I will have a list for you during the next 15 days as we do the second reading. But right now, I could not come up with the $53,000 that we had as income from last year. I don't know. It may not have all come in because this was projected. It was projected last year. I don't know if all that came in. So I don't know myself because all I have access is to the bank records. I don't have receipts or anything like that. MASC has 4 income sources for us. Insurance tax. These are insurance corporations all over the state that we get a fee from. Brokerage tax, I really don't know what it is. Telecommunication, you can assume what that is from the telecommunication. And then the other one was a set-off fee, which I'm still unaccompanied. I just don't know what it is, but we have some funds come in there. 65,000 came in, or what they projected to come in last year. That is almost $13,000 more than the year previous. I'm nervous about that, so I talked to the MASC. They said, be careful in setting your budget, because if somebody drops their insurance, a corporation, you will lose your income also. So I projected at 55,000. I don't know if that's even as the council we discussed, we don't know the best way to do it. Telecommunication, it was on the former budget, but it may be a reprint of the telecommunication tax with the MASC. So that $2,500 would go away. Property tax, we have a set 25,000 right now that has been coming in for the past few years. MASC said we need to review that. We have a mill of 0.05, I think 0.55. And he said, I'll help you figure out what your property tax is. Sales tax, we went from $62,000 2 years ago to $82,000 last year. I'll talk to the state treasurer and see how we should set that. The water department, we are on a contract with them. After they took over the water department, they give us $6,500 a year. We no longer own this building, so the rentals of the Bethune rentals over here are no longer part of this. And all of us did not know what the rebate or other was. And then interest on our money, we went from $13,000 in 22-23 to $1,500 in 23-24. Expenses are pretty much set as far as salaries go. The mayor makes $7,562. The town council together makes $12,000. The clerk $15,000. The treasurer $6,000. And the maintenance split between 2 is $30,820. There was a custodian that was assigned to this building. Council took that off. The magistrate, is $6,000. She had a clerk for $12,000. That was taken off. And then we've budgeted $5,000 for the attorney. I don't even know if that will cover the first little bit. What are you thinking?
Probably not.
Okay. Total salaries. This projected year is 82,382. Last year it was 79,182. Benefits. Both myself and the clerk and the council have no clue what these benefits are, and there's over $7,000 of benefits administratively, maintenance, and for the magistrate. Do you know what those benefits are? Any idea what you get?
I don't get anything besides people.
Yes.
Getting out of that salary.
Yeah, we got PEB in a different place, so I don't know what it is.
I only get one.
Okay.
If everything else is on the town, I don't know.
Okay. Administrative fees. Advertising last year spent $1,900 supposedly. I don't know if that was spent or not. I am proposing that we up that to $5,000 for branding for the town of Mayesville, a website, database, all the social media attached to it, and then IT also. It probably will not be enough, but it will get it started so that we have a website that all of the minutes can be posted. All of the agendas can be posted, anything that we have going on can be posted. Dues and subscriptions, $900 last year. This year I am proposing $2,100 instead of $900 so that training can take place for the council. Training can take place, I think you have clerk training also. Somebody suggested it.
Clerk training, I do not, nobody pays me for any training.
Okay. So is there training that you need to get
There is training, but I get it free or I pay it for myself.
okay, you shouldn't have to if you're a city employee. Would you give us that amount so that we can put it on here? We can budget it?
Yeah, I can give you an estimate, but it varies.
All right. Then there is a fee or a subscription due to MESC, to the Chamber of Commerce. And we're figuring $2,175 plus whatever the clerk can come up with the training that she, or the magistrate that she needs.
Oh, I do the clerk stuff. I do the clerk.
No,
stuff.
I'm talking this, I
Okay.
misspoke. Insurance, we used to pay $14,000 and change for the insurance on this building, for vehicles, for liability of city employees. I've taken this building off of that insurance.
Yeah.
Relax. Taking that insurance off of this building. It is now down to $10,103.59.
Mayesville wasn't paying the insurance, they were paying their own insurance.
Say that again, loud. I didn't hear.
I thought he was paying their own insurance, I thought Mayesville wasn't paying.
I do have respect, we discussing between one another.
We have, okay, it was 14,000 last year and the CDC paid 4,000 and change for their insurance or the insurance on this building. Okay, so I took that off because it would be an income and it wasn't on the income sheet. All right, so I didn't know how to rectify it to make it. So, and then we reimbursed the CDC $670 something for the time that I took them off the insurance. I don't know where we came up with the 600, but bank charges, we have budgeted 500. I don't know what that's for. We're checking into that. For the Bethune Festival, we have allotted $500. There can be some discussion on that. The council felt like that. Oh, we took that off. That it would not, we would not have the Bethune Festival. I don't know what the Bethune Festival is. So we can have some discussion in the 2 minutes if that is something that needs to be on that. The Christmas parade, we allotted $500 for it. The ordinances online, so that you can look at all of the ordinances and laws for the town of Mayesville. It had budgeted $500, but it's $621. So we're over budget on that one. QuickBooks subscription was supposed to be $500. We are $3,703.93 over. We're gonna review that and budget something different. We're looking at maybe $1,200 to be able to do that, or a few other options that we can discuss. PIVA, $3,800, that will stay the same, or possibly go up because everybody has to register with PIVA, correct?
Correct. And pay back pay.
Okay, and I don't know that, so I'm gonna have to, with clerk, treasurer, be able to figure that out. Special election, we have no special election, so there is not $2,100 needed there. Professional fees, I don't know if we need any professional fees at this point. We had budgeted $31,500. I can give you names of who those went to, but I don't know what for. Supplies and repairs for the town of Mayesville administration, $2,000. I haven't done anything with that. Last year we spent $2,091, so we're not much over budget on the professional fees. Sorry, we're $35,761 paid to individuals outside of the town of Mayesville. Travel, I put 0 for us. Housekeeping, 0 for us. Miscellaneous, I upped it just because we do not know. I do not know. The council may know some other things that we may need. Security, we're not in charge of that anymore. Utilities, we paid last year $57,536 in utilities in the town of Mayesville. We had budgeted $46,000. Because of not owning this building, I've taken it down to $30,000. The IRS, I don't know if I am mistaken there. We paid a lot to the IRS. Is that our employment? With each employee, are we paying stuff to the IRS employment tax? Is that what that is?
Oh, I don't know what, I mean, I can't answer that,
Okay,
but
well,
I do know that the state employment taxes need to be paid. and
that's probably what the IRS that we're paying on in the account.
No,
To
you
the
have,
IRS.
you have federal that's being paid.
Okay, so there's a misunderstanding there. I will look at that one. Going to the municipal court. Last year, they had budgeted $800 for office supplies. Can you give me a report on what you need for office supplies later? Telephone, there was $1,200 for a telephone last year. PIVA, $940. Travel expenses, $250. State treasurer, $2,500. I don't know what that is for.
Like I said before, I don't ask the town for anything. Everything I do for my own pockets.
And then victims assistance.
Yeah.
I know we've all had questions on that. So 500 is budgeted there.
Not for me, when I collect the fees, that money is paid into the account,
So it shouldn't come from anything from the town of Mayesville. Interesting, okay. Thank you. Maintenance equipment last year, $6,600. I don't know what that went for. I couldn't find really any receipts for it. Repairs, 900 last year. We spent 3,893, so we're over budget almost $2,100, $2,200. Christmas. Something was budgeted there. I don't know why I took it out. Vehicle gas, 3,000. We're at 2,615. Vehicle, we purchased a vehicle, so we don't need anything there. Equipment rentals. I don't know that we need to do some rentals where we've got a USDA grant for $92,000. We should be able to get the equipment that we need so that we don't have to rent. Sumter County Government, $44,000 for the Sheriff's Department, and then I added a new item, the Town Hall roof. We don't have a lot in the budget, so the best thing that I can do working in construction is replace the roof so that no further damage takes place in the building. From what I understand, Ms. Collins said that there was a contract with somebody that did $60,000 approximately.
Somewhere.
So if we can find out that construction company that did the roof and did their construction. All of you know that do construction, you do not put a metal roof on a flat top building. It just was like a sieve and just went into the building. So proposed taking off the IRS $12,000, we should be a balanced budget of $233,975. If you want this email to you, please leave your email or a text. I will send these to you. There are some that you can pass around. Please, any suggestions that you have of what we need to do, how we need to take care of, there's been some court ideas of how to clean up and how to take care of properties and I'm just not familiar. I just need help and counseling on that area. So if you have questions on the budget, you have suggestions, please suggest it. Hopefully that took care of a little of March and also the proposed budget. This is the first reading. We will post now with the newspaper. We'll probably need some days to read it. So let me just ask council right now, is there a time that we can meet quickly so that within the next 20 days, unless you want to just do it the next town council? Yeah, 15 days. We have to post it 15 days. The next time. You do have to do a second reading to adopt it, and it needs to be posted correct 15 days. But what I want to do is meet with you guys and get suggestions from the public also on this. When would be the soonest that you guys could meet? I'll let you think about it. Okay, we discussed it. I will skip my observation for right now. And turn some time over to Councilwoman Massingill for Mayesville Matriarch and Patriarch.
Good evening, everybody. Hello. I know all of you should know what a matriarch and a patriarch is. If you know what a matriarch is, raise your hand and tell us what it is. It's Ms. Rose. Right, the female head of the family. And a patriarch is? Thank you, the male, that's the head of the family. Can I get?
Let me say this.
If
With due respect, this is not the time for this
Well,
right here, for me.
okay. Wilhelmina Titus is not here, she's not in the county. She's 90 years old.
I'll let just one second. It is on the agenda. It's
Well, that's my father, so. That's right. No. That's right.
on the agenda. You may proceed if you'd like to proceed.
It's not the right time for that.
Okay, the matriarch is Miss Wilhelmina Titus, she is 90 years old. Miss Bootsy, everybody knows Miss Bootsy, I'm probably sure. And the patriarch is, huh?
Yeah.
I didn't even see you. Do you want to say something, Miss
No,
Cynthia?
not really.
Okay.
This is town council meeting.
Okay,
I'm gonna honor that at a different date, if y'all wanna honor Mr. Harvey and my mother at a different date, but it'll be up here to talk for yourself.
it won't happen. Just go on.
New business, South Carolina Department of Employment and Workforce. Could you give us a report on that?
Yes, there is a young lady here. Miss Julie, can you please stand? And she is going to share with you who she is and who she is with and what is going to take place for the town of Mayesville.
Good evening, Mayor, Councilman, Councilwoman, Ms. Collins. Thank you for the invitation to be here tonight. Y'all making me So my name is Julie Smith, and I'm a veteran business consultant with the Department of Employment and Workforce. And we are very happy to announce that we're going to be hosting an education and job fair here on May 21st at 10 to 1 in the afternoon. Currently, we have 3 schools lined up that will be here. We have USC Sumter, Central Carolina Technical College, and Morris College. We also have the SC Works Career Coach that will be here. The Career Coach is really cool. It is designed with the intent to give one-on-one assistance to job seekers using computers. We have access to Wi-Fi, and we have printers in case a job seeker needs to print off resumes or cover letters, and it is wheelchair accessible too. We will also have a number of employers here to speak with people one-on-one. And we will also have some community partners here that will have some services to offer for any assistance that you might need. Now that you've heard my plan, is there anything that you, the citizens of Mayesville, would like to see that I can bring to you? Yes, sir.
The private schools represented.
Well, the universities are what we have, but if you're interested in me looking at some of the private schools, I can definitely take that. Anybody else, anything?
Yes, what building are you at it in?
We will be in this building and we'll be outside the building. We will have the career coach will be right out front. We're bringing a great food truck with us. So if you get hungry that day, there'll be great food on site as well. Yeah, so we're going to be inside and outside, and hopefully we'll have great turnout.
And this is May 21st.
It's going to be May the 21st. It's going to be from 10 to 1. I do have some flyers that I'm going to leave with you all. These are not all the way approved yet, but I did want to leave you guys with some information. So if you have any questions, feel free to call us, email me, and we'll be happy to get back with you, anything you need. Okay? If you don't have anything from me,
Thank you.
I am going to wish you all a great night.
Thank you for waiting.
Thank you so much for coming. Appreciate it. New business. The town of Mayesville has been allotted $1.5 million in this year's penny tax, but remember, in November, it must be passed for us to be able to do that. Now, I am not saying voting one way or the other at all. I'm just telling you right now, we are in preparation to put in what we would like with that $1.5 million. We are number 1 on the list. So I would like input from the public. What is it that we want most in the town of Mayesville to be able to serve the public and do the most good right now and bring life back? Remember, we're staying on the penny tax. That is it. It's only penny tax that we are talking about of ideas. We will take notes, okay, and then we'll have discussions with it. The reason we are pushing this right now so much is the county is asking us what our project is by the 15th of this month, so that they can put their marketing together so that they can get it passed in November to get the penny tax. So what we need to come up with is something so that they can build around that, and they can, whether it's sketches or drawings or any marketing that goes with that, they can put that in their portfolio to give to Sumter County for the vote. Kel, you would stand just.
Yeah, I want to make sure that we get some stormwater drainage mitigation. We have a terrible time with the low lying areas. All this over here on Main Street drains under the old railroad thing, comes down and this ditch over here that y'all seen all fogged up.
So we need.
That's supposed to join all this, and then it goes up Lafayette Street. It crosses the street to a pipe like this, all this water here, and it goes underneath here, pipe like this. And then it turns and goes up Lafayette Street. And then crosses Lafayette Street and goes up a ways and comes back. I don't know how that happened, but it's a zigzag. But anyway, there's a lot of ditches that hadn't been worked on in 40 years, 50 years, you know, and road grown. And if we can get some help with stormwater, because this place is subject to flood. This building is flooded, the building over there is flooded. And the town is flooded. We did rowboats out there picking people up.
Okay, thank you. And from what I understand, and there are people that are gonna know better than I've met with 3 different organizations. First of all, the town of Mayesville has responsibility for some of those ditches. The county has responsibility for some of those ditches, and then there's one other. The highway department. So we've got a map, our maintenance went out and they dotted every single one of the drainage areas. And so we just now need to sit down with those 3 groups and have them tell us what we're responsible for so that we can budget that. And then we can start to also understand what they're gonna do when they clean things out, when they're gonna do it, just the dates and everything. I like that one. Thank you. Any others?
Yeah.
Yes, all the way in the back.
The name is Roger McMillan. I would like the same thing on Davis Street, because when it rains, it's, we flooded out, let you know about it, we don't talk, but you know how our street is flooded out, where the water have no place to go.
Thank you. So Davis Street is one. Is there any others on staying on stormwater mitigation?
Mayesville subdivision,
Okay,
4th Street, and what's that street name? Avenue A.
okay.
Just like a pond.
Okay.
And Avenue B.
And B, okay.
And also Wilson Street.
Wilson Street, okay. Are there any others? That will help us out in discussing with these entities. All right, is there anything else on the storm? Okay.
We have East Sumter Street too, by my house.
East Sumter,
Yeah.
okay,
Salem Street and then Main Street right there.
all right. There's a great big ditch running behind all those houses, isn't there?
And the railroads, it comes down Salem Street on a 4-inch train, and it can't get above the railroad track. The other ditches keep growing up.
All right. All right. I would love any emails of who's responsible. I would imagine that every single one of those are the town of Mayesville. Am I correct?
Which one?
All of these that we mentioned. It's all right. We'll look at it later. We'll look at it so that we don't take a lot of time right here. All right, so storm drain, is there anything else with the penny tax? Yes, ma'am.
Renovation of the town,
Okay,
that should be first in priority, that way we won't have confusion. We'll have a nice place. Tear it down. Tear it down.
we were in a discussion. And do you mind if I share? Councilwoman Benjamin said, let's just wreck that thing down. Don't budget $25,000 for the roof, and now you just came up with it. She said, we have 1.5 million. Let's tear that down and build another one.
Sounds great to me.
Okay, renovation of town hall. I like that. I think when you look at the renovation of town hall, think about it in a different way. If this building could be used as a multi-purpose, obviously it could be a town hall, but it could also be used as a wedding venue. It could be used as office. It can be used as a lot of different things instead of just a podium and microphones. And when you renovate it, why not renovate it with screens so people can see, microphones so that they can hear, okay? But all of it being mobile enough that it's an open space that if you had a daughter that needed to get married, that would be a great place to have it. Okay. Anything else? Renovation? Yes, ma'am.
My name is Kathy in Carolina. I really would like to see some money go to demolition around here, to clean this place up. Yeah, they have a lot of but divine going all over the place, you know what I mean? And a lot of barnacles be rolling around very soon now. So we can get some money for demolition, that would be really appreciated.
Okay, perfect. And I don't know if we'll even have to use the penny tax money for demolition because I think Sandy Lynch has already said that there is some demolition coming up this next year. Okay, so we'll look at that. Thank you. Any others?
Would that include abandoned homes?
Yes. Yeah, just like what we did with, I think there was 15 or 20 that we already did. Other ideas? Yes, ma'am.
I'm Rose Rhodes, and I just think our town needs facelift.
Yeah.
I need to look back on there, make it look a whole lot better.
That's right.
I mean, a gallon of paint will go a long way.
So give specifics so that the county would have something that they can build this around.
Well, I mean, the old buildings. I'm not saying tear them down, but it's not different than what's being done now. I think we can either, not keep them like they are. If you're gonna leave them like they are, then you need to pay the town a fine every month. Okay? If you leave them like they are, and we got to look at it. Or you can renovate with the rest of the town that's gonna be restored. And make it look better. We need to be proud of what
That's
we have.
right. Come in with
And
us.
this is not. What we're looking at now is nothing to be proud of. So is that specific enough?
Yes, that's good. So taking the old commercial buildings and doing either facelift or rebuilding or whatever.
I saw a place not long ago where I was traveling, where they had like a faucet, sort of like those doors over there, and it was covering the entire place. Now, I know the owner may have an input in what they want to do with those buildings, but in the meantime, they need to just stop hurting my eyes when I come into town.
Got it. The old building's got a second. Yes, sir.
Name is Larry Metcalf. Good suggestion, and this is really simple, guys. For the buildings that are out there, the faces are bad looking. Let's just put some plywood up, make it look like a building again, and paint it into it, and have windows, people in there. So it actually looks like something instead of an eyesore.
That's right.
It's simple, and we can all pitch in with a paintbrush. There's a lot of artists around this town, there has to be.
Yeah.
This costs us almost nothing to do. But it will improve the look of our town until we can get the buildings fixed.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Any other suggestions for the penny tax money? You guys good with that? Okay, if you would like to email, don't hesitate to email any other ideas. We'll put these together and start discussing them. Try to get that out. We will keep sending information out to you of all the different suggestions that come up. Old business, Fair Housing Month. We've already submitted that, correct?
No. The proclamation resolution was, however, there is a survey. Do you have that flyer?
The service,
The colorful flyer.
it's out here.
Okay, so for the town of Mayesville, Santee Lynch's, the town agreed to have a display area for the Mayesville citizens that are tenants, and they want to know how much citizens know about Fair Housing Month. Within that, the survey was created and distributed. There is a sign-up sheet that that Mayor ProTem Benjamin will have for those people that want to volunteer to be on the committee to review those results so they can be reported to Santee Lynch's. And this is in connection with the Slum Life Project, the CDBG demolition project. And this actually, the results need to be available for the next week when the Department of Commerce comes and Santee Lynch's to review the records.
So what do you need to have happen right now?
A council, the surveys have been distributed, they're still being distributed, however, a volunteer committee, it doesn't have to be a bunch of people, but a volunteer committee needs to be created by council to review those results and submit them to Santee Lynch's.
Okay, so. I'm not understanding. Okay, so if we have this public right here, what do they need to do?
Those that are interested, sign their name, print their name, telephone number, and email address for council to review and make a decision
No,
on.
I think you mean like, if they wanna sign a survey, I mean, if they wanna fill out a survey.
Oh, if they want
I
to fill
think
out a
that's
survey, they
what
just
you
pick up a survey and fill it out. That's it.
I think I put some in churches, mailboxes, and then there's some out there.
So the surveys are for everyone, and then the volunteer committee to read the surveys are for those that are interested. It's a short term, just get the results, report them, and that's it.
Was that different from what Santee Lynch's did a few weeks ago?
Yes, that was a public needs assessment, so it's a little different. This is specifically for fair housing.
I have a question here, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you go on again? We have to understand you to say something in the register of tenants. You mentioned the word tenants.
Yes,
So what does the town do with the tenants?
the town has tenants that live in the town, and Santee Lynch's helps provide housing information, and they want to know what Mayesville citizens know about fair housing.
She's asking, she's about tenants. Everybody that's in the room, we're not tenants, we are residents.
Yeah.
We're residents.
And
And what she's asking for the tenants.
Okay, so meaning like anybody that rents their houses, like, if you rent a house and somebody live in Mayesville, everybody don't own in Mayesville, some people actually rent their house and pay rent.
Okay, wait a minute.
That's what she means.
So, one more time, just so that we can get an idea, you're asking,
I want clarification. If she mentioned the word tenants. I assume that she was talking about the tenants from here, but I mean, this is supposed to belong to the CDC, right? And I don't know if the CDC handling that, why is the county involved?
There's two different things.
Yeah, it's not talking about them by themselves. She just mean like if you rent a house in Mayesville, somebody renting from you, they just want that person to fill out a survey about how they rent is and what they rent agreements about.
So when they landlord, what's the who in charge of that, I mean, that would be private.
I mean,
it is private.
It's private. I mean, they don't put their name and stuff on it, it's just a
Yes.
survey.
What Santee Lynch does helps tenants with housing, if they wanted to get in low income housing or something like that, what they're doing is just trying to find out how to best serve our public here in Maysville.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Anything else on that?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Committee, I would just, with my observation, I would love you guys to get with me and just tell me what committees you would like to be on to be able to further. I mean, I've got what you did last administration, but obviously we've taken all those off. If there's something that you're passionate about in the city, I would love to know what those are. If you could email me within this next week, or is that too much pressure? That's good.
I have one.
Yes, ma'am.
question before you close. I know that you got ideas and input from the citizen, but did you get any ideas from the council about what we should do with the penny tax?
They haven't suggested anything yet.
Oh, okay.
They're probably listening to some of the different ideas that you have, and then hopefully they'll suggest some also.
I mean, they heard number one thing, at the time, they save us money, as far as renting the building.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
Yeah.
not trying to monopolize this meeting.
You're fine.
I want to know that, the council will sign off on the dotted line as to when the money will come to the town,
well,
but they will not dictate or tell you how to spend that money, that right?
the town is all gonna have input into the penny tax. Right now, we've got clear till November. The penny tax first has to pass. If it doesn't pass, we don't have $1.5 million. All we're doing right now is preparing and getting Sumter County what they need so that they can build a marketing plan around it. Okay. Nancy Williams is on that commission and will give us reports back when they start meeting and give us an idea of where they are and what kind of marketing they're doing and so forth. Councilwoman Massingill, yes.
We weren't notified, of the meeting last Wednesday. We didn't. Never mind. It was, I'll still go ahead and say it. We were on the email talking about a day and he told us the time and place. But we never got notified that that meeting was happening Wednesday night. That's why we were not there. Right. I can pull up the email.
I move to adjourn our town meeting. There is a
I make a motion that we adjourn the town meeting.
second, all in favor?